Welcome to VW Farm. This is a classic Volkswagen Beetle that has been abandoned for many years. Today we are in Coventry to save this 1960s bug and see if we can get this rusty old engine running after it has been sat for over 30 years. So we're here now with this Beetle, 1968, which actually used to be white. So I've got the doors hanging off. It's got all its interior there. So it looks like it's had a new petrol tank, that's nice and shiny. I think the first thing we need to do is swap these tyres. Lovely, and it spins. Oh, lovely. So we've got all the wheels on now, so let's just let it down, its front end. So now the wheels are on, let's see if it'll push back. Oh yes, lovely. Now this Beetle does actually have an engine, let's have a look at it. This is actually a 1200, we've got the carburetor on there, see if it turns over. Oh yes it does, can hear the compression there as well. So I think when we get home, we'll see if we can get this to run. Right, let's get this Beetle pushed on the trailer. So we've got this Beetle on the trailer now. Just went on lovely. So we'll get these wheels strapped down. I'll have another look at the Beetle when we get home. See if we can get this car to run. Right, we're all strapped down now on this little pink bug. So let's set off home. Right, let's get this car off the trailer. So first thing we need to do is get it unstrapped. Right, so we're all unstrapped now. So I think all we need to do is give it a good shove off this trailer. Give it a go. Right, this one, we've got it off now, so let's have a look at what we've actually purchased. It's all shoved in here. Right, let's try and get this guy out from this side. That weighs a ton. So we've got the rear wings in here as well. We'll take these seats out. Oh, very gungy if we can. I think these were actually cream or white. Look in the glove box. Oh, actually no handle there to open it. To avoid embarrassment, remember Beetles do not have radiators. And to open the bonnet, it's actually down here to pull it. See if that lifts up. Oh yes, lovely.
The knob's missing.
Yep, it's actually got the light switch down there for flashing. Put that back. Oh, there's loads of water down there, it's like a fish pond. So having that light switch there, I've got a feel it's either a 67 or a 68. Probably a crossover here. And there's the windscreen wiper motor. So I've been doing a little bit of research on this car. It's actually a 1968. It's actually been off the road 30 years. So the next thing we need to do is see if we get this engine to run. So it does turn over.
Pour a bit of oil in and start it.
We do have some oil in there. So we'll take this battery off and swap it for another one. Just undo the earth and the live. So this is another battery. Get that tightened up.
See if it works there.
So I think we just need to jack it up, put it on some axle stands so the wheels are off the ground. Right, so we've got this car jacked up now. So the reason I've done that is I need to get to the starter motor, so I actually have no key. So I've got it out of gear, and we'll see if the wires are connected up and see if we get this engine to turn. Oh dear.
Starter motor not work.
Nothing. So when I set the old starter motor off now, we have actually got another one, and we'll fit that one now, and hopefully this one will work. Right, so I managed to swap the starter motor now, so I'll give this another go.
So I've just been having a quick look at this engine. I've cleaned up inside of the distributor. I need to connect up a wire for the coil because it's not got a key. And I've just had a look at this carburetor and it's actually stuck open. There we go, it's done that, but it's not springing. So I'm going to take this part of the Solix carburetor off and I'm going to get it to spring back. Because as you can see, it's just sticking open. So I've got it off now, just held on with these 3 screws. As you can see, that's the inside, it's got like a little spring. If we have a look in here, it connects onto this. Let's show you. Let's put it on, tighten it up, and as you can see, it's moving. So let's tighten that back up and that should be good. So this carb should now be in good condition. As you can see, it's flicking back. So that should work good now.
So just need to take this petrol pipe off so we don't put any old petrol into the engine. Oh, that's it. So we've got all those wires connected now. Just adding a little bit more oil so it was low.
Let's get a bit of petrol down.
Right, let's see if we can get this car to fire then. I'll get the starter motor going. So Lux is just swapping over the coil. So it's not actually firing this engine. Coil, and as I open and close these points, there's actually still no spark. So we need to change the condenser at the back.
So this is a condenser. So we're going to change that. And hopefully we'll be getting a spark.
So we've changed the condenser at the back. We've set the points to 0.15. So hopefully now we should get a spark.
Now we've got this engine to run, the next thing I'm going to do is see if this coil actually does need changing. I'll just connect the wires up and see if it runs with that other coil. And after that, we're going to see how well this car will clean up. I'm going to get the jet wash, clean all the outside, clean these seats, see how well they come up, probably vac it out, and then I think we'll be ready to take it for a test drive and see if the gearbox works. Looking in the back of this car, I've got a lot of rust and rubbish. So first thing I'll do is get the vacuum. So I've finished vacuuming this car out. I ended up taking some of the mats out as well. What I have noticed is it definitely needs some new floor pans and one heater channel on that side. This heater channel looks like it could be new. The right side of the floor pan, this one is all dinted upwards. This one's also dinted upwards, but the main problem is this. All that rust in here. This heater channel, it's barely even on. Right then, let's see how well this pink comes up. See how much of this grime will scrub off. So we've got this car cleaned up now. These seats have come out a lot better than what they were. You can actually sit on them without getting dirty. But the problem I've noticed is these pedals, that one works. That brake one and the accelerator's all seized up. So I've got some oil for these pedals. Just get some in all gaps. That's brake moving again. That's all the pedals working again. I'm going to lubricate all parts of the engine and moving parts up as well. Do this carb to make sure it springs back alright. So I'm just filling the petrol tank up so we can take this Beetle for a drive. As you can see, this fuel line there to there has snapped. So I'm going to get that sorted. So I've got this coil connected. I've got a new petrol pipe on there. I couldn't find any Jubilee clips. So that'll have to do for now. We are only doing the test drive, so it should be alright. So then, let's get under the car and see if it'll start up. Yeah. So the petrol doesn't seem to be coming up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push some down the pipe and see if there's any hole in the line. Oh, it's coming out on the floor. As you can see, there's a petrol on the floor just there. It's coming out somewhere in here. So I'm under the car and I'm having a good look at this pipe, and it's so brittle. As you can see, it just snapped straight off. So I'll definitely need to swap this pipe. It's just snapping away. So I've just fitted this new line. So I'm going to put a bit more petrol down here and fill this pipe up. So there doesn't seem to be any petrol coming out of this pipe. So I'm going to blow the air down to unblock it. So the air doesn't seem to be reaching the tank. So we're going to take the tank out and see if we can find any more leaks. Don't know if this is a problem, but we have got a leak just here. There we go. So I think this is a problem. It's actually blocked as a petrol tank just here. So I've got this petrol tank out. I'm going to give it a clean. I'm going to put some water in first. And then I'll put some acid in and make sure all the rust comes out and all the bits. Only problem with doing this is I'll have to wait a long time for it to dry out. So I'll give it a good shake. Let's let this water out. It's just a bit cloudy. The next thing I'm going to have to do is take this thing off at the bottom. So this is 100% our problem. As you can see, it's just full of rubbish. So I'm cleaning this out with a water and a welding wire, and it's just full of like green dye. It's really weird. No matter what I do, I can't seem to get this unblocked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the ultrasonic cleaner and see if that helps it. So as I've been waiting for that part to clean up, I've managed to find this fuel tank that will fit. So these are the two petrol tanks. This is the one I'm going to be using temporary. They do seem to be the same. I think this is the only difference. Let's get this tank cleaned up on the inside and let's give it a go. I have found some black primer, so while I'm waiting for this petrol tank to dry on the inside, I'm going to sand the top down and use some primer just to make it look a bit nicer. So I've got this petrol tank fully primered. I've also got the line on and I've managed to find some Jubilee clips. So then let's get it fitted. So I've got the petrol tank fitted and connected. So we'll fill it up and get this engine running. So we've got the petrol tank in and filled up. All the lines are connected. I took that fuel line off and filled that up with fuel, so it shouldn't take long for it to get through. So now I think the next thing to do is to give it another go. I'm inside the car now, we're just going to see how it drives, but problem is, as soon as I put my foot on the pedal, it's just doing that. It's jamming, so what I think I'm going to do is take this off. So with a bit of oil and pliers, I managed to get this pin out, which has taken this off for us. That's much better. Right then, let's put it in first and see if it drives. It's perfect in first. So we're just driving down to the field so we can test the rest of the gears, but it does seem to be driving perfectly fine. Right then, let's go through the gears. Second, third, and fourth. All seems to be working great. Wait, whoa! It's a very wet field today. Look at that. So this Beetle runs amazing. That petrol tank's done its job. Nothing wrong with this engine at all. All this car needs to go back on the road is some wings and lights and some glass and all the rust sorting out. So if you like this type of content, please give us a like and a subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.